What's going on, people? Welcome back to the opposition preview, and the test does not get easier as we face Liverpool on Sunday. But I've got Cal from Kopish, as usual, here to give us all the insights into what on earth is going on with Liverpool this year. Are they going for the league, the Europa League? What are they actually after? But as always, leave a like, subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the conversation down below. Cal, it's been a while, man. It has been a while because we couldn't have you on for the reverse fixture. There was problems with timings and that, but how have you been apart from Liverpool?
Not too bad, bro. Not too bad. It has felt like ages, and bro, it's mad because we don't even live that far from each other either.
Exactly.
So like, it's crazy, but like, it feels like it's been ages. So no, I'm happy to be back on, man, and yeah, I'm hoping you guys can do us a little favor.
With Palace and Liverpool, there's no favors.
There's no favors.
Yeah, there's no favors. You should know this by now. You should know
even
this by now.
Even the Selhurst Park game this season, like, you made us really work for it.
Oh,
like,
yeah, we did. I
really
work about that. We did, yeah, and we should have got something out of that game as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's quickly talk about your season then. After after the Selhurst Park game, you've won a trophy, the Carabao Cup. Klopp announced that he's leaving. I think that was after that game as well. How does it feel to be a Liverpool fan approaching these final 7 games, I think, is left of the season? Is it like we're looking forward to Europa League and the Prem? Is it what's going to happen after Klopp? How are you feeling?
I've got to be careful because I don't want to speak for all Liverpool fans, and I don't think I'm in a position to. For the rest of the season on the pitch, I'm nervous but optimistic. I do think we will still win the Prem, even though I know it's going to be a tough ask with Arsenal's goal difference. I think all 3 teams in the race will still drop points between now and the end of the season, but I think we'll just about get over the line. For Europa, I think a lot of Liverpool fans think that the Europa is a done deal, and I think a lot of people are overlooking Atalanta and the other teams that are still left in it. I'm more nervous about trying to win the Europa than the Prem, because I think the Prem's an easier competition to navigate, and especially when it comes to cup competitions. In terms of what happens when Klopp leaves, I'm both upset. I'm gonna miss the guy, my favorite manager of all time, but I'm also quietly optimistic because I do think we're at a point now where I think this is coming at a good time. I don't think there's a better time for a handover from a manager as great as Klopp to someone else. New training facilities. Stadium's pretty much been rebuilt. The midfield's been rebuilt. Fresh young players, like the youth academy, starting to integrate into the first team. I think this is a perfect time for Klopp to move on with his legacy intact, and hopefully with a couple more trophies before he leaves as well.
You say that the youth team, but I'm pretty sure I saw the other day that your youth team lost to United like 8-1, something like that, 9-1.
We don't speak about that one.
Exactly. That's straight away just goes to my head.
Because all the youth team players are in the first team, because of all the injuries.
Fair enough. That's the excuse. That
was a sticky one when I saw the result of that one.
Liverpool fans and excuses, right? But look, let's say you don't win. Let's say you have an option between the Europa League and the Premier League for Klopp. What trophy would you go for? Is it a Prem? Would you want another European trophy for Klopp? I think this is probably going to be. Look, you've gone head to head with City, and you've had some good like title races with City. But now Arsenal are here as well. From a neutral perspective, if Klopp wins this and leaves with just by winning the Prem, even if it's not Europa League, I think that is a big statement in himself. Not only did he beat Pep, he's also beat the new boy Arteta as well. But for you as a Liverpool fan, what would be a success from here to the end of the season? You've got 1 trophy in the bag. If you get just 1 more, would that be enough? Do you want? Of course, everyone wants 2, 3.
Yeah,
one more would be like cool. That's still perfect send off for Klopp.
One would 2 would be obviously the dream. If I had to choose between the Prem and Europa, it's hard because Klopp never won the Europa for Liverpool. I don't think he's won it at all. So he's never won it with Liverpool. He could have won it in his very first season, but we lost that game. And that would literally be him completing the set. Every trophy he's competed in, he would have won at Liverpool. However, the Prem, to make it number 20 and tie Man United's record for the most wins of a league title in England, I think that'd be special. In the manner to do it, as you said, by beating Pep, by beating Arteta, I think that would make it more special. And I think that would cement Klopp's legacy more as one of the best managers to ever grace the Premier League. So I'm going to go Prem. Hoping for both, but I'm going to go Prem.
Yeah, look, you can go for both, but I think it's going to be hectic.
It is,
look, Champions League starts now, and Europa League starts on Thursday, of course.
Yeah.
It's just going to be hectic. I wonder if there's going to be maybe injuries along the line. There's some difficult games as well. You got, after us, I think you still got to face the likes of Spurs. You got Villa still. Yeah, Villa. Like, it's not going to be easy. But just quickly before we look at your fixtures and strengths and weaknesses, what have we made of Palace? Because we speak about Palace here and there. I haven't been able to message you quite recently because I've been busy and you've been busy as well with personal life. But what have we made of Palace? Change of managers from Roy to Glasner. Glasner, I was making jokes about it, but he's won Europa League. Probably on paper our most successful manager that we've had since getting promoted to the Prem about 11 years, I think now. I can't remember, time flying by. 11 years ago. What have you made of that appointment?
I've never made a secret about it. That everyone knows I've got a slight soft spot for Palace. Obviously, growing up around the corner from the stadium, I had a season ticket there when I was like 15, going on 16. Back in like when Andy Johnson and Wayne Routledge were the attackers for Crystal Palace. So like to see Palace doing well, because there was a moment where I was thinking, Palace going to go down because why have you stuck with Roy Hodgson? Like Roy, look, credit to him, he did a good job turning things around for you last season. But it should have just been an interim role. It shouldn't have been a permanent role for me. And it was almost a step backwards. I think maybe that contributed to Zaha maybe moving on as well. Maybe he still would have moved on, but I think that in his mind was like, no, I'm not going through another stint of this.
Serious. Yeah, it's not serious enough. Roy's saying it doesn't. Yeah, if I'm Zaha, I'll make that.
You're like, what's the ambition here? I think you've been desperately unlucky with Elise and Eze with their injuries. I think they are two potentially world-class players. I think people are sleeping on how good Eze is. I think people have slept on how good Elise is. I made no secret about I'd love Elise at Liverpool. And what about
Eze? Because he's like the most talked person right now. Of course, I don't expect you to watch Palace week in, week out, know the ins and outs of Palace. That's why I want to ask you this question. But there is this thought process about Eze, about, a lot of people would want him at the football club. I asked LB, the City fan, as we had them last in opposition review. He said, I don't know if I would want Eze at my football club. But for you, at Liverpool, would you want a player like Eze?
Yes, 100%.
The thing is, the issue we have,
that's crazy. Like, I get if you're going to sell him from a financial standpoint because you want to rebuild the rest of the squad, but Eze is a fantastic footballer. And I think the reason why Eze might not have had a move is one, the injuries. Two, I think you look at teams like Liverpool, Arsenal. I mean, even Arsenal. I'll be honest, I know it's going to sound unpopular because he's doing well at the moment. If you give me a choice between Eze and Havertz in that left centre midfield role for Arsenal, I'd go Eze every day of the week. I think the guy's impact. Yeah, I think Eze's so good. He's such a good technical footballer.
He's been out of form though.
I know, but and again, he's been
out of form recently, and a lot of people. It's not just out of form. So there's this debate now going on with Eze. Can he deliver like Elise can deliver, or like Zaha can? Zaha single-handedly kept us up for many years. Elise, he's come back from injury, and he was getting goals, getting assists. Like, he seemed like he could step up to the plate by himself to deliver. And even, in a sub appearance against City, he looked lively in 50 minutes or so. But with Eze, there is this question mark on whether he can step up to a top 6 club. So you reckon that he will be able to do it?
Yeah, absolutely. The talent's there. I'd be more shocked if he went to a top 6 club and didn't perform than if he did perform. There's certain footballers you just watch, and you're not meant to judge footballers just by the eye test because stats are important as well. But there's certain footballers you just watch and you go, when he moves up to a bigger club with better players around him, he's going to take a step up. And for me, Elise and Eze are those two players. I think Anderson at the back is a very good centre back. Again, very underrated. Mitchell is another good left back. I think he was on the cusp of getting an England call up and being in the England setup until he got injured. Right back's a situation I think you need to resolve. Klein, as much as I love Klein and Joel Ward, they can't be doing that.
We've got a new one now. You're going to see him, Munoz.
Has he been playing though?
Yeah, he has. He has been playing. Okay. Yeah, he's been playing. And it seems like we're finally sorted that position out.
Okay.
You'll see him,
I
of
know
course,
we'd
but he's a
spoken about
very
that.
attacking right wing back. We'll talk about our system as well, but we've changed out with Glasner. 5 at the back now, 3 in possession. And we've got these Mitchell and Munoz pushing up the pitch. But yeah, it seems like we might have solved that. But look, we have got a lot of injuries. We have. We approach a City game with Joel Ward playing at centre back, with Joachim Anderson, who's a centre back, and Jefferson Lerma, who's not centre back either. So we've got a midfielder and a right back playing centre back. And despite that, it wasn't terrible. I know some Palace fans were so upset, regardless, he lost the game. But 4-2 against City with that back line, and Elise, he didn't start the game, and we've got injuries to Decore, midfield, etc. I thought we've done a relatively good job. But, just quickly going on to your place, as we're talking about players right now, I think it's a good segue. Who's on form for Liverpool? Because as you spoke about it off air, I'll be honest, watching that game against Man United was very frustrating, even from a neutral perspective, because you do create chances, but you struggle to finish them off. Would you pick out any attackers? I mean, Salah, we know Salah, we know
Salah's badly out of form at the moment. Nunes is, I know I'm going to annoy a lot of Liverpool fans. I think Nunes is a player that is loved by the fans because of his passion and his energy, as opposed to his technical abilities. He obviously has moments in him where he can win us games, like he did at Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, but he's not a player that you can rely on throughout a season yet, in my opinion. Diaz, I think, is currently in form, but he's also been very inconsistent this season. Gakpo looks a shadow of the player that we started to see at the end of last season. Jota's the one I trust the most in the front line if they're one-on-one with a goalkeeper, but he's the least available because of injury. So even though we've got the personnel there, I do think maybe in a year's time we're going to be looking at attack and thinking we really need to do something here. So
everyone's out of form, according to you.
Yeah. Apart from Luis Diaz. Diaz is in form, but he's not clinical in front of goal either, so it's difficult.
So how would you fare up against 5 at the back, you reckon? Because you must have faced that this season. 5 at the back. So how we would play for Liverpool fans watching this, and also you that might have not watched Palace enough. Under Glasner, we'll be compact in defence, but we do have an attacking plan, and we'll be very direct in a counter-attack. We'll be get the ball forward and get it going. But 5 at the back for Palace. Of course, we'll have 2 midfielders, Wharton and Lerma. I think Wharton is a fantastic player. And slowly people will realise that. I think it's going to be an absolute gem. And I don't see him staying at Palace.
Sorry, Lerma was a snip as well. You got him on a free.
Yeah. But Wharton, you'll probably, hopefully he has a good game, and you can see as well. But he's going to be an incredible talent. Like there's certain players where you just know that they're just going to make it at the top. It's not even just about the passing or whatever. It's just the IQ. You can't really practice IQ. He knows his vision for the game is perfect, and he got an assist against City as well, I believe, for the first goal that we scored. But we spoke about our defense and your attack. Are you concerned then going forward? Because you did create chances. You talk about players out of form. You did create chances even against United. I know United is not.
Yes. So that's the thing. So I was having this debate with a few Liverpool fans, and they were saying like Nunes is having a fantastic season. All of our attackers are having good seasons, and I was like, it sounds good. The GA sounds good, but when you actually break it down in the Premier League, we've had the most shots on goal. Arsenal have scored the most goals though this season. I think they've scored 2 more goals than us. We've actually had 112 more shots than Arsenal this season, and they still scored 2 more goals than us. So for me, that just shows the conversion rate isn't what it should be, and we are not clinical enough. And you could almost be accusing us of spamming shots and not looking at the openings. You look at City and Arsenal; they're very ice cold in front of goal. They usually make the right decision, whereas with us, we tend to be very emotional in front of goal. We don't necessarily play the right option or play the right shot. We're just thinking, there's an opening here, I'm going to shoot, and rather than actually thinking about patterns of play. However, I do think you're going to make it very difficult for us, but we should have enough. But in my opinion, if we go a goal down, it can't be in the second half. Like, we have to score before the second half, in my opinion.
That's interesting. The thing is, we scored in the first half against City, but with Glasner, still early days. We've made improvements. I think set pieces is another thing. We were struggling massively here. it was beyond ridiculous. But it seems like we kind of look like a capable Premier League side in terms of defending set pieces, and also have game plans in attacking set pieces as well. Because I know that is an area, the goal that you scored against United, I know that's an area of concern with Van Dijk and some of the other players that you have set pieces for Liverpool. I know that you're very good in that area. But what about strengths? Like, what is that one area, one player, whatever it is, that works for you lot? It could even be simple as maybe the first 50 minutes of the game, last 50 minutes. To be fair, I did mention last 50 minutes, but it's coming to my head right now. You do love late goals this season as well. But what should we look out for as Palace fans? What do we have to make sure we do to ensure that we get the highest chance of getting a result out of this game?
You've got to try and keep McAllister quiet. McAllister's just making us tick at the moment. Like,
now that he's not right, we can talk about him.
Right. When we signed McAllister, bro, like, I was happy, but I never looked at him and was like, this guy's gonna like revolutionize the midfield and he's gonna be the guy. Bro, he's the guy. Like, he's so good on the ball. He knows the right pass to make. He knows when to speed up the tempo, to slow the tempo down. He knows when to hold on to the ball, when to pass it quickly. Even he's tracking back and defending. Like, I never saw what he was doing at Brighton in the way he's doing it here. And I know he never got the plaudits in the beginning of the season because he was utilized as a number 6. And I kept on saying to everyone, I was like, when he moves to the 8, we're going to see a fantastic player. And lo and behold, it's happened. And he's tremendous, man. I don't know. In fact, no, I'll say it straight. We wouldn't be where we are this season if McAllister didn't have the season he's having. And so far, for me, he's one of the best players in the league. And if he finishes the season how he is at the moment, then I'll be shocked if we don't win anything.
Wow. Yeah, he's been great for you lot. Yeah, as I said, we can talk about him now because he's not a Brighton player. But yeah, I think the midfield area is where it's going to be a battle and a half, because we've got 2 midfielders and I think you could overload that potentially. And that's the one area of the pitch where you can go through us with the formation that we play. But then again, on the counter-attack, we'll be very quick. And is that an area of concern, dealing with the counters? Defensively, the weird thing is you haven't been bad this season, but got a mistake or two in your side as well.
Yeah, I'm not massively concerned about the counter. I think we're one of the teams. In fact, I think Arsenal and Liverpool are the 2 teams best set up to deal with the counter because of the pace we have in centre backs. Like, we've got Virgil, we've got Konate, Kwanzaa's got good quickness about him as well. Arsenal obviously got Saliba, Gabriel. So I think we're the best 2 teams to deal with the counter attack. However, you still got to be wary and you've got to be mindful. Like, Mateta took his goal really well against Man City, for example. So we can't just be arrogant and nonchalant in our defending. We have to make sure we get amongst you very early and try and kill off the game as quickly as possible, because we're getting to that part of the season now where you don't really want to be dragging games into the last 5 minutes because there's so many games coming thick and fast. So if we can get a good result, get some of our players who are returning from injury some minutes as well, I think that would be a perfect day.
Let's talk about perfect day then for you. Score predictions. You talk about perfect day, talk about, McAllister's on form and this and that. So let's talk about Klopp's farewell, man. We like to ruin parties. You reckon you're going to get the job done?
I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool. Ooh, I think we will get the job done, but I don't see us keeping a clean sheet. For whatever reason, at the moment, we're just not keeping clean sheets. So I can imagine and see you guys getting a goal, maybe from a set piece or from a counter attack. But I think we get 3.
Yeah, it's hard. I haven't really thought about it at all now, but I think you'll score goals. I think you have to be with our back line. I mean, it's held down as good as they can be, but as I said, we've got players out of position and we desperately need players back from injuries. But I'm going to go for 2-1 Liverpool. I think it might be a bit tighter. I think we'll frustrate you. I think the key out of this game is to not concede early. As you mentioned, second half, if it's still, let's say, 0-0 or if it's 1-1, I think that's where the game could open up. That's where you could, try and push for the game and maybe spaces open up behind. So we have to make sure we keep it tight. But I don't think we'll get absolutely destroyed, even though there's a potential there. If you do take your chances, knowing our luck, on this day, you're going to have 4 XG with 6 goals. That's what's going to happen, right? I
hope so.
instead of the 1 goal with 3 XG, it's going to be the opposite. Yeah. You're going to end up scoring more than expected. But look, I'm going to go for 2-1 Palace. Let us know what you think in the comment section down below. And before we do go, Cal, where can they find you and your great work?
You can find me at Team Kopish on all platforms, and my personal, you can find me at Callum Sanderson on all platforms as well.
The link will be in the description down below, people. So make sure to check that out. That's it from me and Cal. And until next time.
Sorry, before we go, I just want to big you up, bro. I just want to big you up. Like, obviously, I know we've got rivals this weekend, but it's always love. You always come through for us on Kopish. Always treat us well. And yeah, just a pleasure to be back on the channel, man. And yeah,
I appreciate it. Hopefully, we'll stay up this year. Next year, we could talk about.
You'll definitely stay up. You'll definitely stay up.
Yeah, we'll talk about European competitions together. We'll be talking about our European push, and you'll be talking about your European push. Hopefully, we'll have that conversation next year.
So we want to hear.
Exactly. Let's see what happens. And also, we'll give you Eze as we want. £50 million.
No, we want Elise. Elise is the one we really need.
No. Let's calm down now. I know we're giving love and stuff, but Elise, you're asking an awful lot now. You're asking an awful lot. Let's calm it down. Let's calm it down a bit. But yeah, make sure to check out Kopish. The link will be in the description down below. That's it from Cal and I. And until next time, up the palace.